Reading passage 3 has 7 paragraphs A to G. From the list of headings below, choose the most suitable heading for each paragraph. Long-term impact. Starting च नहीं हो सकता, कोई गल नूं पहला डिस्कस करांगे फिर impact दी गल हो सकती. A celebrated achievement, early brilliance pass unrecognized, outdated methods retain popularity. You have to go through them all at the time of the reading. तो करने शुरू कर रहे हैं. पैसे दी headings लिखा गया सी The Revolutionary Bridges of the Robert Millett. Swiss engineer Robert Millett built some of the greatest bridges of the 20th century. मतलब डिजाइन कर रहे थे, अगला वर्ड लिख भी रहा. His designs elegantly solved a basic engineering problem. How to support basic engineering problem की है. ब्रिज बनाओगे तो obviously उसका weight होना है, उसਨੂੰ counter balance किस तरीके दे नाल कीता जाऊगा, right? Has a basic engineering problem. Okay, how to support enormous weights using a cylinder arc, right? और ਜਿਹੜੀ आर्क हैगी अपने को दिख भी रही होगी अपने को डायग्राम दे विच, हल्की ते पतली आर्क सिलेंडर, right? Thin, that seems beautiful also. इदां भी कह लिया जावे. वो किस तरीके नाल अचीव कीती जा सकती. 34 to 36 roadway deck arc forces. उसने जो perpendicular बनाए हुए उन्होंने नाम पूछा है. हल्की जी भी इंग्लिश आउंदी होवे तो we can go for the word. Conventional arc bridge the ऊपर डिजाइन सी, थले arc bridge dash फिर arc, फिर उसने कुछ पूछा, फिर forces लग रही हैं. 37th question, Miller designed the hollow box arc in order to. First will come 37, then 38, then 39 and a 40. It will be in order. पहला तो दसूगा उदी background, उदी information, फिर उसने लिखा सी designed the hollow box arc. It means इदां दे questions मेरे को conventional arc bridge ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨੇ डिजाइन ਕੀਤੇ ਆ 34 to 36 उस जगह दे लागे जाके मैनू मिलना चाहिए. For the next one, signpostings are very clearly visible. The Vansa Bridge, Flinkbeck Bridge, allowed Millier 2 and the last one. Good signposting, आराम नाल उन्हां ते पहुंचया जा सकदा. उस पैराग्राफ दी हेडिंग्स भी आपां उस जगह तो कढ सकदे हां. First paragraph. Just as railway bridges were the great structural symbols of the 19th century, highway bridges became the engineering emblems of the 20th century. The invention of the automobile created an irresistible demand for paved roads and vehicular bridges throughout the developed world. The type of bridges needed of cars and trucks, however, is fundamentally different from that needed for the locomotive. Most highway bridges carry the lighter loads than railway bridges. This is what उदास रहा. हो की रहा हुआ. Invention किस चीज दी automobile दी create की create कीता उसने irresistible demand की किस दी demand है कि या vehicular bridges दिया. And जेडे obviously type of bridges जेडे चाहिए सी भी cars ले या trucks ले ओ की सी ओ fundamentally different सी, right, as compared to the locomotive ले. Paragraph heading and heading transport developments spark a major change. 10th is the heading for the 27th one. Clear-cut mentions, right? B paragraph. Early in his career, Millett developed a unique method. First line of the paragraph. If I'm saying unique, तो किसी ने match नहीं कर रहा. सारे तो different है. Developed a unique method for designing bridges, buildings, and other concrete structures. Option comes out to be 8th one. Different in all respects, unique, different in all respects. 8th is the heading for the B paragraph. C paragraph. Miller's first important bridge was built in the small Swiss town. The local officials had initially wanted a steel bridge to span the 30-meter wide in river. The locals officials वो चाहते सी बनाना स्टील ब्रिज, स्पैन हैगा 30 मीटर, ऑलमोस्ट 100 फीट हो गया. बट मिलेट ने आर्ग्यू किया कि ही कुड बिल्ड अ मोर एलिगेंट ब्रिज मेड ऑफ रीइंफोर्स्ड कंक्रीट फॉर अबाउट द सेम कॉस्ट. सेम कॉस्ट है तो मैं कंक्रीट द ब्रिज बना के दे दूंगा. His crucial innovation was incorporating the bridge arc and roadways into a form called, मेरे ख्याल से मैंने आंसर्स देने शुरू कर रहा, I believe इस तरीके मैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 37 पढ़िया सी, hollow box लिखिया सी, इस करके रोक गया सी. Millet designed a hollow box arc in order to, इस जगह ते लिख रहा, his crucial innovation was incorporating the bridge arc and roadways into the form called the hollow box arc, which would substantially, की फायदा होना सी ओदा, कहंदा उसने घटा देना सी, substantially reduce the bridge's expense by minimizing the amount of the concrete needed. Option for the question number 37th one, reduce the amount of the raw material required. D is the option for the question number 37th one. In a conventional arc bridge. Same word, diagram ch BC, in a conventional arc bridge, जिथे इसने heading दी हुई है. The weight of the roadway, ऊपर roadway बनया होया सी, उसने में roadway deck लिखा होया है. उसका weight कहंदा थल्ले नू लिख रहा word, in a conventional arc bridge, the weight of the roadway is transferred. केदे द्वारा जिहड़े थल्ले arrow बना के दस रहा सी, ओदे बारे क्वेश्चन पूछा गया मेरे को, वो किया, and is transferred by columns. Right? Columns is the answer for the question number 34th one. Right? Weight ही दिखा रहे सी arrow दे नाल, weight transfer हो रहा थल्ले नू. Columns. To the arc which must be relatively thick. And diagram ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਦਿਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ, arc ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹ relatively thick ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ weight transfer ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ. In Millet's design, now I'm having a Millet's design, ਉਹਦੀ arc bridge ਦੇ ਮਾਮਲੇ 'ਚ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Though the roadway and arc were connected by, now they are connected by 3. उसने पूछा सी मैनू arrow बना के, जे सामने वाली साइड तो diagram देखते हैं, and 3 की आ मेरे को vertical walls. Answer for 35th one is a vertical walls. जब मैं 10 vertical walls बनाया तो उसने पूछा सी इन्हें दोनों दे बीच की बनया, right? वो अपने को किया, वो बड़ा एरिया जेड़ा उसने पूछ रहा मेरे को, वो लिख रहा सी vertical walls forming 2 hollow boxes running under the roadway. और डायग्राम च भी देख रहा, लिख भी रहा हो C diagram. इस तो अच्छा की हो सकता सी साडे लिए. Now we are having hollow boxes. Answer for the question number 36th one. Other bridge क्यों different है कहंदा? Hollow boxes running under the roadway. The big advantage of this design was that because the arc would not have to bear the load alone. ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ straight curve ਬਣਿਆ ਆ, ਕੀ ਸਰ ਜੀ ਬਣੀ ਆ, vertical wall ਬਣੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ bridge ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ columns ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹ ਹੀ ਨਿਕਲਦੇ ਭਾਰ ਚੱਕ ਰਹੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, ਉਹ vertical wall ਵੀ ਚੱਕ ਰਹੀ ਆ. The big advantage of this design was that because the arc would not have to bear the load alone, it could be much thinner. ਉਹਨੇ ਕੱਲੀ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਭਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਕਣਾ, ਤੇ obviously ਉਹਨੂੰ thinner ਬਣਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ. As little as, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਛੋਟਾ, ਕਿੰਨਾ thinner ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, 1/3 as thick as the arc in the conventional bridge. Now the heading for the 29th one. ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ, crucial innovation किया, incorporate करना bridge ਤੇ arc ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ roadways into form called what? ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ hollow box arc, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ reduce ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ bridge ਦਾ expense ਵੀ, minimizing the amount ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਿ concrete ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੀ. Option for the heading comes out to be the basis of a new design is born. Right, vertical walls बना दित्तियां गईयां ते column दे through जेड़ा weight transfer हो रहा सी, और through the vertical wall भी आ रहा सी, इस करके सानू ओ arc नू heavier या thick नहीं बनाना पैना सी, thin बना सकते सी. नवा design बना दिता गया Millet वालों. 5th is the heading for the question number 29th one. Next very paragraph. His first masterpiece, however, change हो गया वो. कल first masterpiece लेके heading लब लूँगा तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. Conjunctions and linkers paragraph the theme भी बदल देते हैं. Was the 1905, this is the word that I'm having in the question number 38th also. I should be careful. I'm going to get the 2 answers from this particular paragraph. Tavansa Brez. over this river in the Swiss Alps, and this design Milliard ne remove kar ditta. Milliard removed the parts of the vertical walls which were not essential, nahi chahide si, because they carried no load. This produced a what? A slender, lighter looking form which perfectly met the bridge structural requirements. But, now there is a condition. But ki hoya? The bridge gained the little favorable publicity in the Switzerland. उन्हें अपने वालों तो vertical walls गायब कर देती हैं तो उसको और अच्छा बनाने दे लई aesthetic, right? दी गल भी की गई सी. But the bridge gained a little favorable publicity in Switzerland. On the contrary, it aroused strong aesthetic objections. ये कितना दा लगदा देखण नूं. From the public officials who were more comfortable, जेड़े की comfortable सी with the old-fashioned stone-faced bridge. Milliard, who had founded his own construction firm in 1902, was unable to win and more bridge projects, so he shifted his focus to designing the buildings, water tank and other structures made of reinforced concrete, and didn't resume his work on concrete bridges until the early 1920s. 1920s, मतलब वो उस decade दी गल कर रहा. 1902 दी गल हुई सी starting. उन्हें काम ही छाड़ दिता. उसने एक इतनी अच्छी चीज बनाई, बट लोगों ने उसको recognize ही नहीं किया. अपने वालों ने उसने masterpiece बनाया एक तरीके का, पर लोगों ने unrecognize कर दिता. Officials ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਸੀਗੇ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਪਸੰਦ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ. ਐਸਥੈਟਿਕ ਆਬਜੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਖੜੀਆਂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਵੀ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ. 20-25 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਵਾਟਰ ਟੈਂਕ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ ਉਹ ਇਨਸਾਨ. ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫੇਰ ਆਇਆ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਹੈਡਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਦ ਪੈਰਾਗ੍ਰਾਫ 30th one, ਰਾਈਟ? ਮਾਸਟਰਪੀਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਮਿਲਿਆ? ਲਿਟਲ ਫੇਵਰੇਬਲ ਪਬਲਿਸਿਟੀ ਐਂਡ ਔਨ ਦ ਕੰਟਰਰੀ ਆਬਜੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਮਿਲੀਆਂ. ਹੈਡਿੰਗਸ ਕਮਸ ਆਊਟ ਟੂ ਬੀ third one, early brilliance passes unrecognized, right? This is what the answer for your 30th. And for the 38th one, following the construction of this bridge, Milliard failed to win more building commissions. C is the answer for question number 38th one, right? Was unable to win any more bridge projects. ऑब्जेक्शंस खड़ियां हो गई तो उसमें नवे कोई ब्रिज प्रोजेक्ट्स ही नहीं मिले कि तू आ भी ते तू डिजाइन कर ते बना. खत्म हो गई ਉਹਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਦੀ ਗੇਮ ਤੇ ਤਦ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਵਾਟਰ ਟੈਂਕ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਊਗਾ. This is the answer. E paragraph. Now its meaning is I'm having a 39. Its meaning is two answers in the very next paragraph, right? His most important breakthrough during this period was the development of the deck stiffened arc. The first example of which, the Flingback Bridge, built in 1923. An arc bridge is somewhat like an inverted cable. A cable curves downward when a weight is hung from it. An arc bridge curves upward to support the roadway and the compression. Right? ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੜਕ ਆ ਕਹ ਲਓ, the bridge ਦਾ part ਆ ਉਹ ਉੱਪਰ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠਿਆ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ weight ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ? Cables ਦੇ ਨਾਲ. Curves upward to support the roadway, and the compression in the arc balances the dead load of the traffic. For aesthetic reasons, Milliard wanted a thinner arc, and his solution was to connect the arc to the roadways with a transverse walls. Perpendicular. Transverse meaning is इस जगह ते ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ perpendicular ਜੁੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ. In this way, Milliard justified making the arc as thin as he could reasonably build it. His analysis accurately predicted the behavior of the bridge, but the leading authorities of Swiss engineering would argue against his methods for the next quarter of a century. Right? फिर भी objection करते रहे. कदों तक? अगली next century दे quarter of the next century तक भी. Heading for the question number 31 was most important breakthrough. But still argue कर रहे सी next quarter of a century तक. Heading comes out to be 7th one. Further refinements meet persistent objections. Right? Argue against his methods. Meaning is the persistent objections. 31st answer. 7th is the answer. 39th one. Aesthetic reasons, Miller ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ thinner arc and his solution was to connect the arc to the roadway with the transverse, right? Angle of 90 degree ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਣਾ ਦੇਣਾ. Option for 39th one, right? ਕੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਦੀ appearance ਨੂੰ improve ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ. The transverse walls of the Flenbeck Bridge allowed Milliet to improve the appearance of his bridge. 39th answer, G is the option. Second last paragraph, that is the F paragraph. Over the next 10 years, Millet concentrated on refining the visual appearance. ਹੁਣ ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿੱਧਰ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ? Visual appearance. ਕਿਹਦੀ visual appearance? Obviously, ਉਹ bridges ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਣਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ. Deck stiffened arc. His best known structure in this bridge, completed in 1930, he won the competition for the contract because his design was the least expensive of the 19 submitted. The bridge and road were built for only 700,000 Swiss francs, equivalent to some $3.5 million today. What was also Miller's longest span? It did a bridge see the longest span at 90 meters, and it had the most dramatic setting of all his structure, vaulting 80 meters above the ravine of this brook. In 1991, it became the first concrete bridge to be designed an international historic landmark. ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਉਸ bridge ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਉਸਨੇ design ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ. Heading is a celebrated achievement. 32nd F paragraph. Second is the heading, celebrated achievement, right? ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ bridge design ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ historic landmark ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ. Answer for the 40th one. Of all his bridges, this bridge, Kisiho, heading, was also Millier's span at 90 meters of its most dramatic settings of his structure. Right? Answer comes out to be for your 40th one is F option. Right? Vaulting 80 meters above the ravine of this brook. 80 meter upper of this. Aesthetic appeal. Beautiful, spectacular terrain, the stretch of the land. Last paragraph. Before his death, in 1940, Millet completed other remarkable bridges and continued to refine his designs. 1940 ਚ ਉਹਦੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੌਤ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ? remarkable bridges complete ਕੀਤੇ, continue to refine ਕੀਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ designs. However, architects often recognize his high quality of Miller structure before his fellow engineers did, and in 1947, architectural section of the Museum of the Modern Art in the New York devoted a major exhibition entirely ਕਿਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ? His work ਲਈ. In contrast, very few American structural engineers at that time had even heard of Millet. In the following years, however, engineers realized that Miller's bridges were more than just aesthetically pleasing. They were technically unsurpassed. Miller's hollow box art became the dominant design for medium and long-term span concrete bridges in the US and Switzerland. Professors ne finally padhauna shuru kar ditta, began to teach the Miller's ideas, which then influenced a new generations of designers. Answer for your 33rd one, that is the long-term impact. First is the heading for the 33rd one. And this is all about your reading passage 3.